Okay, we're going to talk about 3-4% proportion. If you look up here, we gave you two formulas, part over whole, percent over 100, and then is over of, percent over 100. So those are their two formulas. We're mainly going to deal with this one right now, but this one should be a review. It's the same thing. Remember when we set up a ratio, for example, like 3/4 to 6/8. We're saying by putting this equal sign in the middle that these two proportions are equal. So we can scale up here and we can solve for that. So making sure we're setting these up with the equal sign, is over of, percent over 100. We're saying that these two, is over of and percent over 100, are equal. So for example, I want you to look at number 1, okay? Number 1 says, what percent of 24 is 8? Okay, so using our percent proportion, we're going to define each thing. So what percent? That means that percent is the question mark. So on the percent spot, which is right here, I'm going to put an X. Okay? And then of 24, that's saying that out of 24 total, 24 is 18. 18 is your part or your is, and it should set up like that. When we do this, you know, we check to see if we can scale up first. I can't scale from 24 to 100, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply. So 24 times x and 18 times 100. So 24 times x. On this first one, I'm just going to show you what's actually happening, okay? So 24x and 18 times 100. 24 times x is, of course, 24x, and 18 times 100 is 1800. Okay, once we're doing that, now it's turning an equation that we're solving for x. So 24 and x are multiplying, so the opposite of multiplying is divide. So we're going to divide what we do to one side, we got to do to the other. So that cancels that on the left and leaves you with x here. Now, I don't really have enough room right here, so I'm going to come over here to the side and divide 1800 by 24. So 1800 divided by 24. Okay, making sure we're lined up, because a lot of times we have dividing woes for some reason. So 24 will go into not 1, not 18, but 187 times. 7 times 8 is 28. Carry your 2, and it's going to be 16. So 168. 180 minus 168 is 12. We're going to drop down that 0. 24 will go into 120. 5 times, so 120, and we're going to subtract. So our answer is 75. So x is going to equal, and I didn't leave me much room over here, 75. But I want you to know that x, the missing piece that we had, was in the percent spot. So really this is 75% for that answer, okay? So everybody with me? Okay, that's example 1. Example 2, we're going to use the same thing. It's part over whole, in over 100, or is over of, percent over 100. So what number is our question mark? What number is, so what number is 60% is our percent. We always have 100 there, okay? And then of 150. So of 150 is on the bottom, so we're going to put an X right there. I can't scale up or down, so I'm going to do the same thing I did a while ago. Cross multiply 100x, and then 60 times 150. If you do 150 times 60 to the side, we get 9,000. So I'm going to put equals 9,000. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 100. X is going to equal 90, okay? So our x equals 90, and it's not in a percent category, it's just on top. So we need to make sure we understand the thing, that this important concept. Okay, like I said before, you know, you're setting these equal to each other. So obviously 60 is smaller than 100. So our answer, to make sure it's pretty consistent with what should happen, it should be smaller than 150. So was 90 smaller than 150? Then yes, logically that would be a good answer choice. Okay, number 1 on the exercises. Okay, we have what number is, so that means this is our question mark, so we're going to put an X for is. We have 25%. We have of 20, so that's going to go on our bottom, and then we have it all over 100. If you notice right here, we should always check to see if we can scale up or down first, and we can scale down here. We can divide by 5. So, because 100 divided by 5 is 20, so 25 divided by 5 is 5. So X is going to equal 5, and it makes it super quick, simple one right there. Number 2, what percent of 50 is 30? So what percent is our question mark? We always know this is 100. Of 50 is 30. Okay, can we scale up or down? Yes, we can. This times 2. So 30 times 2 is 60. So X is 60, and then it's going to be 60% because it's in the percent slot. Okay. Last, we're going to do the rest, and I'm just going to set up the last few for you. Make sure you're going to do the homework page on the back, but we'll do this one first before we... 30 is 75% goes in your percent category of what number? That's telling you of question mark, so question mark. Okay, some of you might be able to see this, you know, 3/4. So what's 3/4? But some may not be able to see quite as easily. So we would cross multiply because I can't scale up. 75x and then 300. Divide both sides by 75. I'm sorry, 3,000, excuse me. Okay, divide both sides by 75. And I get X equals 40. Okay, I want you to go ahead and try setting up 4, 5, and 6. I just want you to set them up just so you make it, you're making sure that you're fitting it in with the right, and the right spot is over of, percent over 100. And then you need to do the following, the 10 on the back. But I'm going to go ahead and set these up. So you might pause for a second and then come back when you've set these up and just check yours with mine. Okay, even though of is with the percent right here, we still put it in the percent category because it's a percent. Of what number is the question mark? And then 36. So that's how that one would be set up. Number 5. 20% of 100, or 20% out of 100 of 625. There's our X. And then the last one is 12 is what percent of 30? Okay, so you can solve all those, but I'm just having you set it up so that you can see what's happening and what's going on. So make sure you do the back side, the homework side.